Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to take up a question that has been asked in the comments by one of our viewer, and the question is desire connected to fear? I would repeat the question: is desire connected to fear? Are they connected? So I think the sensible thing, first of all, would be to define both the terms desire and fear, both, and to simply define them without any complication. I would say desire is the tendency that we have to have something, to get something, to gain something. It's kind of a mechanism to feel complete. We feel like we lack something, and then we desire to get something, to fill that completion, to fill that emptiness, sorry. So desire is the tendency to attain something. Very simply put, you can desire a house, you can desire a car, you can desire some clothes, good food, okay, money, usually. So that's how desire is. And fear is the response of the mind when the mind observes that something is not going in favor of it. I'm putting it very simply. We can complicate it quite nicely and go in the intricate details of it, but at the moment I'm keeping it very simple, that the tendency to get something is desire, and the feeling you get when you observe that something is not going in your favor, in your profit, that feeling could be termed as fear. Okay, very simple I'm putting this. So the question is, are these two things connected with each other? One way is to answer it from classical wisdom, the classical literature that has been available or that is present, whether it's from the old philosophical text of the Upanishads in India, whether it's the Buddhist literature, whether it's the Gita, whether it's the Christian old texts. And that's one way, and I think from that way you can give one answer, but that answer is already available on ChatGPT or everywhere else, and or Google. And I would like now that if you are watching this, then let's look at the question together now and see how it unfolds. Okay, so when I desire, I want something. Okay, it means I feel, first of all, that I lack something. I feel I lack something. Okay, and then to fill that up, to fill that feeling of lackness, to complete that feeling of lackness, I desire to get something. So that desire is usually something from the world, as we said, money, respect, some person, food, clothes, cars, houses, whatever is the object. Okay, So, the first thing that we can observe is that in desire, there is first an observation that I lack something and I want to fulfill it. Why? By getting something from the world. So, desire is a movement in duality. Okay, how do I say it's a movement in duality? It's like I am the entity who wants something, and there is an object which I want. The object could be a house, a car, anything. Let's take house as an example, okay? A simple example. I desire a house. So there is me and there is the object, the house. Okay? And why I desire it? Because I feel I lack something inside of me. Okay? That feeling of lackness is making me desire this and desire that and desire. Now, where does that feeling of lackness has come from? I would say that's a topic for a different video. Then this video would become too long, which I don't want. So let's stay on the question, the connection between desire and fear. So I feel I lack something and I desire. I desire the house. Now, when I desire the house, there are two things that can happen with that desire. One is I can fulfill that desire very easily. And the second is I cannot fulfill that desire. Okay? That would depend on if the house is in my budget or if the house is not in my budget. If the house is in my budget, I would simply buy it and my desire will be fulfilled. My want will be fulfilled, and for some time I will feel that I don't lack something. I have desired and I have achieved. But if this object, which is the house, is out of my budget, like I cannot buy it at this moment because it's a little bit more expensive than what I have saved in my bank or whatever is my capacity, then two things can happen. Okay, again, first, there are two scenarios, whether I can get it or not get it. Get it is the simple one, we put it out. And when I cannot get it, then also there are two possibilities. What are the two possibilities then? That how badly do I want it? Or even if I can't have it, I'm fine with it. Okay? So, in the possibility that I cannot get the house, then depends how badly I want the house. There is one situation where I cannot get the house. I see the fact that I cannot get the house. I accept the fact and I move on. Okay? Which is somewhat similar to getting the house, that I see the house is in my budget, I pay the money, I buy the house and I move on. In the same way, when I cannot buy the house, when the house is not in my budget, I can still accept that fact if I'm open to it. And I can move on. That yes, I cannot buy it, fine, let's move on. But the tricky part comes in when I get attached to the house. When I see the house and I feel like I must have it. I need it for my survival or for my image in the society or for whatever reason, because my neighbor has the same house, I want to show to him that I also can do it, whatever could be the reason. Now, in this situation, when you really, really want the house, when you cannot move on, that the house is out of your budget, that is the first scenario when desire creates fear. You desire the house, but you cannot have it. But on the other hand, your desire is very strong. You really want it. And the thought of not being able to have it scares you. Okay? You keep thinking most of the time during the day how to have it. You try to find multiple ways of fixing the problem of having it. Now, from whichever angle you see that you are incapable of having it, you feel afraid that, oh, what if I cannot have it? Okay, so from this example, I'm trying to show you that there is one fear which is being incapable of fulfilling the desire. Okay, being incapable of fulfilling my desire creates fear in me. It's very simple, you can see this. So this is one connection of desire and fear, that if my desire is so strong that I cannot let it go, then if I cannot fulfill it, or if I can see that I cannot fulfill it in the future, then that will make me feel afraid, feel scared. And that will also create sorrow inside of me. Okay? So this is one way desire can create fear. The second way in which desire can create fear is when I have it, but then I'm scared of losing it. Okay? Then I have the desire of always having it. Okay? I for this, let's take another example of being with a person. You fall in love with some person and you feel like, yeah, I should have a relationship with this person. Now, you were scared if you would be able to have the relationship. After the relationship is established, now you're scared how to keep the relationship going on. Because now the person, after living some time, might change his or her mind and maybe want to end the relationship, which you don't want. So then you have the desire of keeping the relationship always as it is, okay, in the sweet spot. And now this desire creates fear. So first, the desire of not having, now the thought of not having creates the fear. You desire, but then you see, I might not be able to have it. That creates fear. And then when you have it, then the desire of always having it with you creates fear. Because you don't know, in the future you might not have it. The same could be with the house actually. That you are scared you might not be able to pay the monthly payment to the bank for the mortgage, and then the bank will take away the house away from you. So that creates fear. So first, desire creates fear by making you feel, what if I cannot fulfill my desire? And then second, desire creates fear by making you feel that I should always have my desire with me. The object of my desire should always stay with me. Okay? Another thing which is very beautiful to notice here is that desire and fear are both dualistic in nature. In desire, there is a person who is desiring the object, two entities, okay? In fear, there is a person who is afraid of something, again dualistic. So, inherently, by nature, desire and fear are both dualistic. They both depend on this relationship between the object and the entity, the person who wants that object or who is scared of the object or whatever. So they are both dualistic. In that way, they have a very deep relationship, that they have the same nature, desire and fear both. But if you want to break it apart with example as I did, then I would say they are both part of the same cycle. There is a cycle which is going on, which is you, the person, the ego. And desire and fear are both part of this cycle. But desire can trigger fear. And then fear can create a desire. Okay? If I'm really afraid, I could desire something which might help me to remove that fear, to get rid of that fear. And in the same way, if I have desire, then that desire can invite fear, as we discussed in two different ways. So these are both feeding each other. Desire can create fear, fear can create desire, and inherently have the same nature, the dualistic nature of existence of both of them. Okay, so don't look at them as you traditionally look at them, as two different emotions. Okay, this is what I stress a lot, especially on my Instagram channel, that always you have to relearn the meaning of each word. What you know already is what the tradition has told you. And as you would go into meditation, and if your meditation is actually working, the meaning of each word will start changing for you. The meaning you had for fear and desire before, and the meaning you will discover during the process of meditation will change that. So if you have now investigated this with me as I looked at it right now, and you were with me, then the meaning of those words have changed. Those words were two different things for you before. That desire and fear are two different emotions or two different things in me. But now, if you have investigated with me, you discover that they are actually kind of the same. They are two names of the same movement. They are two names of the same dualistic movement which is going on inside of you. So this would be going really all the way to catch the dualistic movement and remove the names desire and fear from it. But if you cannot go that far, at least try to see that inherently they have the same nature and they both can trigger each other. So let's keep the video this much, and I hope I could make it a little bit clear. And I would like to thank, first of all, the person who asked the question, and I hope he has received something from this explanation. So again, if there is some doubt into this explanation, please write to me in the comments and we will take it into the next video. Especially now we are continuing our journey on thought, and I think we are covering a lot of nice aspects of it. So let's keep going. Thank you.